Hey, it is Wednesday already. I keep messing up my days because of the long weekend, and I feel like I'm a day behind or a day ahead, and it kind of goes back and forth and back and forth. But it is Wednesday. I'm actually at the Creative Hive, which has been an interesting transition as we start to kind of go back to some new sense of what's going to happen. Daughter's at school, so I get to come to work a little bit more frequently and for longer time periods. So all these big changes have been happening in our worlds and your worlds and in the entire world. So we brought in a lady who likes to talk about changes and who has experienced so many of them herself. And we've had the privilege of watching her grow and blossom and seeing what exactly is happening in her world. And now she's here to share a bit of her story with you. You may know her as a wellness warrior. You may know she does some marketing, but you're going to know she's a marketing whiz after today. Welcome, Jamie. How are you?
I'm good, Des. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's relatively nice outside, working away today. So, you know what? No complaints.
Exactly. I'm so excited it's nicer out today.
You and me both. All right, Jamie, let's do a little bit of background for anybody who doesn't know you. I mean, you really came to meet and expand your circle with a lot of people in so many different communities through the Wellness Warrior. So tell us a little bit about the Wellness Warrior and a bit about your background.
Yeah, so the Wellness Warrior was something I created after years of being in corporate in marketing, and it was amazing. But at the time, mental health was not something that was really talked about. And so I was experiencing and still experience a social anxiety. And at the time, it was very debilitating, and I didn't want to tell anyone of what was going on. It wasn't like, you know, more the progression of the conversation that we're having today, which is so amazing. And so my kind of reason and purpose behind the Wellness Warrior was to create a space where women could feel less alone in their struggles. And I wanted to share, and I worked on becoming a life coach on the side. So this was really my side hustle gig that I absolutely adore. And I got
But
invited to
you took
speak.
that step and you decided
Yeah.
that you're going to talk about your mental health and anxiety and things that you were facing. And you put it out there for the public. And you know what? The public responded in a very positive way with you.
Yeah. So it definitely took a long time it wasn't like I experienced anxiety and then bam, I
Yeah.
went and shared. It took a long time to even, I really hid it for 2 years from everyone. And so it was a slow progression to the point where I would share with some people and then I'd hear like they were struggling with similar things. And so I was like, well, how many people are struggling with this and they're just not talking about it? And so from there is kind of how I started the Wellness Warrior and really gained this love for self improvement and how we can change our minds and change our lives. And that doesn't mean that I don't still struggle with anxiety. It's just a lot different and I'm able to cope a lot better. So that was kind of the driving force behind the Wellness Warrior. And in the
And what did
meantime,
that
I
lead?
was still,
What did that make you feel like, though, to have that support in that community and to start to see this shift in how people were speaking about mental illness, anxiety, depression, all of those different stigmas? What did that do to you? How did that fill your bucket?
yeah. So I think it was, I was really blessed to hear that other people, as soon as I open up, as soon as you open up about your struggles, people are going to open up to you because they feel so much more comfortable doing that. Um, and so that was so powerful. And to hear, the messages that I would get from people saying, like, thank you for sharing that. That really resonated with me, was so powerful. And I knew it was something I wanted to continue to do and continue to share because we've all, and especially now with COVID, you know, a lot of us have experienced some sort of mental illness or just dealing with this difficult time in all different ways. So, yeah, it was really rewarding for sure.
But you were working hard at that. You're working hard at building connections and sharing your story and, becoming a life coach and all of the different personal growth you did. But you had a full-time job while doing this. This was always your side hustle. Your toe was dipped into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
But COVID happened, and just before that, there were some big changes in your world, and you had to make some decisions. So tell us what decisions you were faced with there.
Yeah, so I did 6 years in corporate marketing and branding, and so really interesting to see that side. And I would always be so inspired when I saw, even like people like you, Des, and so many women I know just took this leap, or so many people I know took this leap from a kind of comfortable corporate job and then blazing their trail and following their dream into entrepreneurship. And so at the time, kind of around COVID, I had climbed a ladder pretty much as far as I could at the time, or could currently. Um, and my VP, who I was reporting directly to, was let go, meaning I was let go as his chief of staff. And that led to a lot of, opportunity, as in, do I want to keep going down this road? Do I want to look at entrepreneurship? Like, what do I need to do? And after
Life
talking,
decisions right in front of you. Ah, what did
and it's COVID, and I don't know what's going on. And I was blessed to work with a really great culture at ATB, but there's a lot of really, I found out shortly after, there's a lot of really crap cultures, and I was like, this doesn't make sense. I do not want to do this. So after talking with a lot of people, and Kristen with Kia Consulting,
oh,
who's an amazing business coach, um, I think the thing that struck me, and it was like an immediate aha moment, was, well, what's the dream? Like, what's the dream? And this is something that I do go through, and I ask clients like similar questions, but you don't, when you're a coach, you don't dig into that yourself a lot. And so as soon as she was like, what's the dream? It was really easy for me. I was like, well, I want to run my own agency, and I want to give back to mental health in the community. And so she was like, oh, well, there you go. And so this kind of led me to this vision I had to start Rogue 52 Marketing,
so when you
because,
had that kind of
yeah,
your aha moment,
yeah,
what were you like, uh-oh, shit. I know where I have to go now. I gotta go there.
yeah. So I think it was just, I had a lot of fear, and I still have a lot of fear, but it's kind of, continuously talking to yourself and telling yourself those positive words. I think we all suffer a little bit from that imposter syndrome of, can I actually do this? Like, who do I think I am, trying to do this at, whatever the age I am, or the level that I'm at, or whatever it may be, the thoughts going through my head. So just pushing myself to continually think positively and work, you got to do the work to make it happen. And so, yeah, it was just like a lot of stuff going through my mind that I had to deal with.
Oh, I'm so excited for you because, when once you make the decision and your mind is going, I know you're one of those people that does the work and that brings those people in around her to do the work. And that's huge advice for anybody listening right now. Once your mind is made up, then you can go. Then you can take the
Yeah.
tangible steps to start moving forward. And I can say, the imposter syndrome is real. I mean, I am so privileged to work with some incredible people here, yourself included, Krista with Kia Consulting, and chatting with the incredible Dr. Jody Carrington the other day. And she asked, she goes, what do you want? I was like,
Mm,
well, you want me to say it out loud? Because as
yeah.
soon as you say it out loud, then boom, it's these things and these connections start firing and everything starts going. So you're now moving forward. Rogue 52 is a thing, and you're being able to join all your passions together. So tell us about Rogue 52, and then we're going to get a little bit into your expertise with that.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, Rogue 52, the name Rogue just comes from the concept for me of going rogue from the 9 to 5 job
The
that
norm.
I, the norm that you know, I'm a people pleaser, and I had this original vision that I wanted to climb a corporate ladder, and that's just not the case. And so rogue kind of comes from defying the status quo and doing things that others wouldn't do, which fits into working with different brands as well. And so it was developed. And so we are a full service ad agency. And recently I partnered with a we don't call it a full partnership, but I have an art director with me now. So Mimi is an incredible artist, art graphic designer, web developer that I've worked with on several projects in the past. So she's come on with me as well to kind of fill that space that I don't have. So for me, definitely the strategy, the brand side, the implementation, copywriting, and she is this design guru and the developer, the web developer, and we do kind of everything from all of those services and actually implementing and social media and public relations and you name it, that falls under our radar just because we have had the chance to do all of those things throughout our careers.
Let's dispel a few myths because sometimes when people are starting out or they run their own business and they maybe haven't had the best experience with whatever company, they say, well, we can't use a marketer or we can't afford that. Why is that a myth?
Yeah.
Is that a myth?
Yeah, I think it's a myth, especially if you're willing to, I think that some people think of the bigger agencies, rather than the smaller ones who, I think that they are very talented no matter who you're looking at. And, for us, I know a lot of marketing boutiques in the city follow a similar guideline is that we want to work with businesses of any size. And so that means that we're going to be really transparent with you if you are with us. And, if you give us if you're like, this is the budget I have to work with, we're going to make it work for you because we want to help entrepreneurs in our city. And, that's something, of course, that's very important to me with my work that I do with the Egg Boss Babes as well. Very important. So I think that's definitely a myth that if you just ask, if you just take the time to ask, you'd be surprised with what you can get, especially if you're looking around more, etc.
Well, it's never going to work if you don't ask and you don't know, right?
Exactly.
And what's the
Yes.
worst that's going to happen? It's a little bit out of reach, and then you have something to work towards. And marketing really does help. And having someone help guide that ship is a huge difference. So let's delve into that a bit to give people an idea and show, really the strengths. I want to talk about some tips about your brand story. Your brand has a
Yes.
story. I mean, I buy into this, I wholeheartedly do, but for anybody watching who doesn't understand this concept or know about this concept, what is a brand story?
Yeah. So I think that, brand storytelling is really the future and it's becoming so important for implementing into whether it's your personal brand or your company. And so the reason for that is if we look into the statistics, like from millennials, so that's the largest consumer group, the stat is that 89% of them actually trust recommendations from their friends and their peers and influence more than claims from the brand. So that means as brands, we really need to step up and get really intentionable about the messaging we're sending out and how we can market accordingly. So they don't want to see a brand at face value. They want the authenticity behind it. And so what I mean by that is really delving into, you can't create a story until you have all of these components. So
So what are the components?
yeah, so the components are, I'd say the first one is you need to take the time to really develop your brand guidelines and strategy, and it can feel really uncomfortable. So it's everything it shapes everything and the way that the company interacts with the world. So, this is something you can do with a specialist. You can take time to uncover it yourself. And it's the questions that get you crystal clear on your core values and your mission and your purpose. And so, all of these make up your brand's personality and they allow you to come across more authentically, not only just with your clients, but with the people who work for your company as well. So
Ah,
your employees can have a deeper connection to it. And the most essential piece of this is delving into your why. And your why should come through in every single message that you deliver. And just like your personal development, this is something I talk about with the Wellness Warrior as well, and life coaching. Your why should be something that you dig so deep into. So why do you want to do what you're doing? Okay, well, we want to create the ultimate client experience. Well, why? And keep asking yourself why over and over until you get to the root, this very deep root of what is driving this. Because for most people, like, it should be a very emotional reason that you've created a company in the first place. And so sometimes with our clients, it can really feel like a psychology session almost, because you need to dig into that, because consumers now are going to see right through that. They're going to see when you're not being authentic, because there's big brands that are doing a really good job of it, and they're coming through as themselves and their authenticity. And so that's another reason, why I think the Wellness Warrior did grow exponentially, is because I did take the time to delve into our why, and I can recite my why back and forth. I want to be as vulnerable as possible to help other women feel less alone. That's it. And I can go back to it. And when I'm making content, I know exactly what that looks like. And so that's why you'll see me do things like I hold up um, pictures of holding my anti-anxiety medication. I'm showing up. I'm being as vulnerable as I can for other women to feel less alone. Not every woman will resonate, but a lot of them will. And so that has gained an incredible amount of respect. So we need to do things like that and peel and really dig into the foundation of our why.
do you find, I don't know about your business, and well, I do know, but when you are authentic to who you actually are, if your brand encompasses your personal values and you intertwine those two things, it's so easy to show up every day and be, right? Like my
Yes.
brand can never be about purple spotted dinosaurs because I don't really know anything about dinosaurs. So if
Yes.
that keeping it true to who you are as a person as well, that helps, in my opinion, share all of the bits that you want to do.
Yeah. And, I think the most important thing, another um, way to make this come to life, is that if you're straying and you're not sure of your next steps or where you want your next kind of, whether it's a campaign or something to go, you just take a look at that encompassing strategy and your vision and your mission, and it should be something that you always turn to. Um, and so it should really be your guiding North Star. So, for example, Nike is a company who does such a great job of this. They sell motivation. This is what they sell. So if you look at Nike's pages and their videos, and you can really, this gives you a great sense of what I mean by brand storytelling,
Yes.
because we see the stories of these athletes and they're overcoming hardship and adversity, and they have this motivation and this drive along the way that we all desire. We have this connection, this emotional feeling to it, and so they go back to it over and over with whatever campaign that they're doing, because they know that's the root of what they believe in, what they stand for. So that is an absolutely great example of it. And I think the
Oh,
other
that's a good one.
piece, yeah, I think the other piece is really, we can do this. we can kind of do this over and over. The other piece is really, of course, knowing who you're targeting. If you have your why and you think you're doing a great job, you need to, again, this other piece of strategy is delving into your target audience. And this can also feel very uncomfortable for some clients because it's really some could find it invasive, but you need to know everything. How do these people talk? Where do they hang out? What do they do? What do they enjoy? So if you're
Yeah. What
just
do they
talking
watch on
to everyone,
television?
yeah, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. And so you need to get very specific on that and take the time to delve into that audience and know their statistics and know the things that they enjoy. So the storytelling actually works to the full extent.
And talk to somebody like you that can help you through those processes, right? There's some really great
Yeah.
options in our city, and Rogue 52 is now one of them. So
Yes.
that is now one of those options to help you start telling your story and sharing a bit about who you are. And once you start to figure out those things, it's easy. I know for us at the Creative Hive, whenever we get stuck or we're not sure if we want to do the next thing, we always say, well, it always go back to community for us. Will this bring people together? What is
Yeah.
community? It's bringing
Yeah.
people together. It's making connections. It's making people feel comfortable and welcome. So if it checks off all those boxes, then we're like, well, no brainer. There you go. That's the next step. That's where you got to go. And so that's my end pitch for you. You are awesome. I'm very excited that you have taken this leap. Can't wait to see where it all goes. And it's going to
Thank
go great
you.
places. So if anybody wants to get in touch with Jamie, we will put her links below us here, or you can follow her at Rogue 52 Marketing or the Wellness Warrior, and just, reach out, connect, and enjoy working with some people in and around our city. Thank you, Jamie.
Awesome. Thanks, Des.
Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.